Welcome back to Fox Eyes on the Hill Live this Sunday morning. Hezbollah is taking responsibility for shooting 30 projectiles at northern Israel overnight. This comes as a senior Hamas leader was killed in a strike in Tehran last week. Iran's supreme leader calling for revenge. What is that going to mean for that region that is already under so much strife? Rebecca Grant rejoins us here at the desk. She's a senior fellow at the Lexington Institute and a national security analyst. She's been following the Middle East crisis for decades. Rebecca, thanks for being with us. Before we move on to the Middle East, though, I just want to touch on a little bit of what our first conversation with Gordon was this morning about the return of Evan Gershkowitz, Paul Whelan, and the other hostage. What is, you know Russia just about as well as anybody as I know Russia. What is their calculus in allowing this prisoner exchange to happen, and why now?
Well, I'm glad Evan and the others are back, but Putin really wanted Krasikov. And remember, he gave all the returning Russians a hero's welcome, bouquets at the airport and medals. And that's because Russia has lots of operatives still across Europe. So he wants the Russian people and his other operatives to see that these are returning war heroes in Putin's mind. It's so sick.
And, you know, so let's shift back over to the Middle East right now. The senior Hamas leader is killed in Iran. Obviously, this war between Iran and Hamas is approaching the one-year mark in October. When there is an action, there is sometimes a reaction. Hezbollah launches these rockets last night. What can we expect the fallout from taking out this, not only taking out the Hamas leader, but taking him out in Iran, who is, what is widely known to be a major backer of that organization?
Right in downtown Iran, and of course it is Iran that backs all of this, from Hamas to Hezbollah to the Houthis, all through the region. So Iran has said they're going to retaliate. Looks like they're going to take their time about it. The concern in my mind is that we might see a different type of attack from what we saw in April, when Israel and our U.S. forces shot down all the drones and missiles. And that's why we have amazing development, F-22 squadron deploying from Virginia, and enhancement of U.S. military forces in the region, hoping to put a lid on that.
One thing that was concerning about that drone attack, which was successfully put down, is, you know, for a long time, Iran has kind of orchestrated its moves against Israel through proxies. You know, much like the Soviet Union did, against the United States in these proxy wars that we had in Southeast Asia, back in the 50s and the 60s. Does this represent a change in Iran right now, that Iran now is no longer satisfied by having others do its bidding, but will step into the fray itself? And how dangerous could that be as far as an escalation? Yes,
100%, and it's much more dangerous. That all changed when Iran launched that strike on Israel back in the spring. They'll continue with the proxies, but what we see now is Iran willing to attack Israel, and remember, to use the proxies potentially to attack some of our U.S. military forces in the region. You know, our U.S. military forces, we are fixing to be in a fight with Iran to defend Israel and to defend their own position.
So, none of this happens in a bubble. This strike against the Hamas leader came just days after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed Congress in a joint session, also met with the former President Donald Trump down at Mar-a-Lago. Netanyahu delivered a blistering speech in the House of Representatives to the joint session, and, then pretty much, went back to Israel, and then we learned of this strike. How closely do you think that the development against this strike is connected to that speech that went on?
Well, Israel said from the beginning that they would kill Hamas and Hezbollah leaders when they needed to. So I think there's a connection, but much more that they feel they have to show a really strong military pressure against Hamas in order to get the ceasefire negotiations going again and to reestablish Israel's security.
Politics doesn't escape this. The Biden administration was hoping to have a ceasefire in place as we headed into the fall election. That seems more and more unlikely.
Well, and Hamas could take that ceasefire deal anytime. Israel's made some pretty major concessions, but right now we hear the negotiations may restart again, but there's been really no progress in the last several months.
And of course, certainly the linchpin for Israel right now is getting all those hostages back as well. Rebecca Grant, always a pleasure to have you at this desk. We appreciate your insight and analysis as always.
Thank you.
All right.